allow me to reintroduce myself. It's Trey. Trey Sense, Trey Way, whatever you want to call it. So you already know, I'm not like most reviewers. I don't follow suit. I'm in my own lane and I like it that way. So this is a not so fast, hold on, pump your brakes type of review. Why? Because I managed to find for you 10 fragrances in my collection that, well, are not necessarily fragrances that you would reach for in a warmer climate, but I think I'm going to reach for these. I think I'm going to wear them. Why? Because I like them and they're bold and they're daring. So you want to know what 10 fragrances that I'm going to challenge you and all of FragCom to still spray on, even though the temperature is rising? Meet me on the other side of this intro and we're going to get right into it. I'll see you in a second. What's going on, everybody? You guessed it. It is your boy Trey Sense. Listen, before we get into this video, real quick, thank you. Thank you for all the love, all the support that you give to the channel. Thank you for all the growth. Hey guys, I really, really appreciate it. Now, with that being said, I do need a little help from you. I need you to like this video. I need you to share this video. And if you haven't already, I need you to sub to the channel now. For what you came here for, let's get into it. Again, I'm not your average reviewer. I'm in my own lane. I like it that way. It's less traffic. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to get hit when you're on the road by yourself. So, let me get this. My little table here situated. It's a little bit, I'm a little off center. But anyway, 10 fragrances from my collection that I'm still gonna wear, even though it's a little bit warmer, even though it's a lot warmer, and these are probably more suited for the winter time. Here's the thing about that. I don't really think when companies make a fragrance, they think this is going to be a winter banger. This is going to be a summertime banger. Those of us who are frag heads, we like to group our fragrances or classify our fragrances because we have way too many. The average person doesn't have as many fragrances as you frag heads, and this frag head does. So with that being said, let's just get into it, shall we? The first one I want to talk to you about is from the House of Dunhill, and this is from the Icon line, and it is Dunhill Icon Absolute. Now, here's my thoughts on heavier fragrance in the summertime. And this is hard for me to admit, and it's hard for me to say, but it's something that most of us men do. Overspray our fragrances. This one is a oud based fragrance, and believe it or not, for an oud based fragrance, this is a compliment getter. I wore this when I first got it, which was late winter, early spring, and it just started to warm up. I picked this up from a sub. It was one I had wanted in my collection. I got it. This is an oud based fragrance. Indie houses are some of the best at wearing or making oud based fragrances. They live in a hot climate and they still wear oud over there. So why can't we wear it over here? Again, it's not meant, most fragrances aren't meant to be sprayed on 7 to 8 times. Most fragrances are meant to be sprayed 2 to 3 times. That's just it. You're not supposed to smell them across the room. Now, if you're like me, just being honest, I like for my fragrance to introduce me the way they used to introduce kings and queens back in the days, like dun 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 dun, here comes the royal fragrance, Trey. You know, when I get out of the car, I think my fragrance is supposed to meet me inside and introduce me to everybody. Hi, here comes Trey, here I'm at Troy. But that's not what they're supposed to do. You know, an arm's reach, which is about from me to the camera. That's when you're supposed to pick up on my fragrance. If you're picking it up 2 blocks, you know, and I'm pulling up, Trey coming, yeah, I got on too much. So I typically wear too much, I'll admit it. But nonetheless, a fragrance that I will be wearing in the middle of the summer, in the heat of the summer. That's right. That's right. Dunhill Icon Absolute. Again, it's an oud-based fragrance. It's not the heaviest of oud, but for a fragrance that you can get for around $40 or $50, this is a really, really nice entry-level oud fragrance. It does smell really, really good. Oud, if done right and worn right, is a very masculine fragrance, and it can come off several different ways. Animalic or musky, like body, but if you have the right chemistry, it's a beautiful scent. It's a beautiful note. And I do have a really good chemistry because things tend to sweeten up on my skin, and this is one that does exactly that. From the house of Dunhill, it is Icon Absolute. This next one, if I can get my bottle to sit there, is not so much of a stretch to wear in the summer, but it is more of a winter time fragrance, and it has been recently discontinued. Don't know how the stocks on it are, and it is 1 Million Prevail. Now this one is definitely one I think leans more towards the winter time, but it's not going to be hard to pull this one off in the summer, and you may be able to even go a little harder on the sprays, maybe a little more than 3. Again, I absolutely love this fragrance. Sweet, boozy, sexy, romantic, masculine. I think it's a date night type of fragrance. I just love it. To me, it's one of the best releases from Paco. Definitely one of the best in the 1 Million line, and it is Prevail. I will definitely be reaching for this one in the middle of the summer and even in the upcoming days, whether it's daytime or nighttime. 1 Mil Prevail. I like it. And that was one of those rack store finds for me. Found that at TJ Maxx in Jasper, Alabama. This next one, trying to remember where I sprayed it. Was that it? Anyway, from the house of Mugler. Is it Theory Mugler? It is pure malt. And I absolutely like this fragrance. I like it a lot, and it has been discontinued, but nonetheless, it is a really, really nice fragrance. Tonka, you get a lot of Tonka in it, even though it's pure malt, and I know they make a pure Tonka too, but still. Very, very sweet fragrance, and again, it's not as big of a stretch as some of the fragrances on this list. This is one you can definitely pull off. It does still make me think of evening wear, which that's the trend I'm trying to break. That's the mold I'm trying to get myself out of and you out of. Because we buy these fragrances, if you like it, spray it anytime you want to, wear it anytime you want to. Yes, there are fragrances that maybe come across a little too dressy or a little too heavy, but you can still do it. Again, just tone down the sprays. Just don't go 55 sprays, go just 2 or 3 like you're supposed to. And this one is just a sweet smelling fragrance. I do think it's sexy. I do think it's romantic. I do think it is good for a date. Not a spicy fragrance. It's not a tobacco fragrance. It's just a sweet Tonka type of scent. Really, really nice fragrance. If you run across this on your discounters or in the store or at some mom and pop yard sale or wherever, definitely want to pick this up. Malt by Mugler. This next one is another rack store find, a very inexpensive fragrance, but a very well-made fragrance. It is the OG. It has a flanker that is more popular, but I may like this one a little bit better, and it is from the house of Bentley, and it is Bentley for men. The intense version gets all the hype, all the love, but this one is a little bit more wearable. Oh yeah. And again, 1 to 2 sprays of this and it can definitely come across as just a nice, clean fragrance. I think this is a very dressy fragrance, something that reminds me of something I would wear with a suit and a tie. Definitely leans more towards winter, or what you would classify as a winter fragrance. I'm not sure if that's vanilla or vetiver, but something in it comes across clean and bright. Not like a citrus type of bright, but just a crisp, clean type of bright. And I definitely think it's one, again, a nice outfit. is how I would wear this fragrance. Now, does that mean you can't wear it with a t-shirt and jeans? You absolutely can wear it with anything you want to. I mean, you can wear it with the pajamas with the feet in them. If that's you, homeboy, rock it. You can do that. But you're going to be the best smelling dude with pajamas and the feet in them, I promise you. I personally think it's just a dressy type of fragrance. I really, really like it. And for the 25, no, what did I pay for this? I don't remember. I picked this up around Christmas time. I don't remember exactly what I paid for it. Whatever the price on it was, I think it is definitely well worth it. I absolutely love it. It smells really, really good. From the house of Bentley. It is Bentley for men. Okay, what else have I got on this list? One that doesn't get a lot of, oh, I knew it. Oh, you're about to see a blooper. Oh, you ain't gonna believe that Absolute by rolling the floor. Y'all would have heard a big kaboom, and y'all would have saw me jumping trying to get all this stuff up. A fragrance that never really got a lot of hype until it popped up at, is it Sephora? It may have been Sephora. No, Ulta. For ridiculous sale prices of $29 for the 100 ml and $20 to $22 for the 50 ml. And it is from the house of YSL. And it is L'Homme Intense. And if you know anything about the L'Homme line, you know that's a really, really good line. And this one does not disappoint or let down, whether you have L'Homme, L'Homme Intense, La Nuit de L'Homme, U Electric, Blue Electric. I'm trying to think of what else I have from the L'Homme line. Recently did a trade with JP and acquired the L'Homme Sport, which is a beautiful scent as well. Now this one, oh man, very well made fragrance, very sophisticated. Again, it just comes across impressive. That's the best way I know how to describe this fragrance to you, is impressive. A little bit of a leathery vibe, a little bit earthy, a lot of a leather vibe, a little bit earthy, a little bit spicy, very, very masculine, very well made fragrance. And I don't know why this did not get more talk. I guess because we shift everything to sweet, sweet fragrances. And again, I'm blessed. I have really good skin when it comes to fragrances. The longevity sucks, but they do turn super sweet on my skin, which is why sometimes I stay away from already sweet fragrances, because they go and become extremely sweet. But this little gem right here, oh, I like that. Definitely would wear this one. Well, let me rephrase that. I will definitely be pulling this one out in the summertime and challenging myself to get more involved with my fragrances year round, regardless of what they are, spring, fresh, EDTs, EDPs, whatever. If they smell good, I'm going to spray them and enjoy them, and I encourage you to do the same thing. So if you have L'Homme Intense, this is one I challenge you to pull out of your collection and spray. Again, nice, slightly spicy, earthy, leathery type of fragrance. And as it starts to dry down, that sweetness that you get from the La Nuit de L'Homme, from the L'Homme DNA, starts to come through the bottom of it. And it mixes very well with that leather. Very well made, very well blended type of scent. Definitely good for a spring evening, because technically we're still in the spring. Definitely good for a spring evening or a rainy day. Absolutely love it. L'Homme Intense. Now let's sit that down and make sure it don't knock nothing off. This next one is one that was making all the rounds, and it is known as a dessert type of fragrance. This is a tester bottle, but still I have it. And it's from the house of Salvatore Ferragamo, and it is simply Uomo. And this one is again said to smell like a tiramisu. I'm not sure it smells like a tiramisu, but I'll tell you what it does smell like. It smells like good, and it smells like a lot of tonka. And again, this is one that you would naturally group into, oh, that's a wintertime scent. And you would be right. You can definitely wear this on a cool, cool winter's day, and it'll be just fine. But you can also wear this in the month of May. and smell amazing doing so. A very well made fragrance, very rich. Again, it's a sweet fragrance. We would classify this as a gourmand. But for those of you who don't get into gourmands and all the fougères and all the different terms that us knuckleheads throw at you, let me simplify. It smells good. It's nice and sweet. Good for an evening out, job interview, anything. Again, you're not going to be able to go 15 sprays on any of these fragrances. You're going to have to keep your sprays to this many or this many. But still, it's worth it because you're going to smell really, really good. And with everybody shifting and jumping to the springs and the freshies, you're going to come in there and you're going to smell like a man. M-A-H-I-N, a man, like Muddy Waters. That represent me. You're going to smell like a man. And as a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that's what uomo means in Italiano, is man. All right. Trying to see what else I got left on here. I got this many more. Where do I go? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a fragrance by the toe. I'll go here. This is one another rack store find. I found this at Burke's Outlet and I was super excited to get it in Corinth, Mississippi. And it is from the House of Gucci. Hey, isn't that a movie? House of Gucci? It is a movie. Well, look at that. And it is Gucci Guilty Absolute. Side note, I'm thinking about making a fragrance purchase. And I'll tell you what I'm thinking about making, and you guys can comment in the comment section and tell me what you think. The new Gucci Guilty Parfum, thinking of adding. The new YSL EDT, I'm thinking of adding. The new 1 Million Elixir, I'm thinking of adding. Most Wanted by Azzaro and the Most Wanted Parfum. So the next time y'all see me, I may have 5 new fragrances. I'm not saying, calm down. I'm just saying that's what's been running through my cranium. But let's talk about this one real quick. Another oud-based fragrance. Is this an easy fragrance to wear? And I think that's another thing that made me be like, boy, my English teacher would be proud. This is another fragrance that honestly just made me think, like, what are you doing? Because there's never a time to wear this fragrance that it's not going to be challenging, because it is a very oudy fragrance. And personally, I'm really glad to have it in my collection, because for oud fragrances, now I paid about $50 for this, I think. I can't remember. No, I think it was $65, but I bought it in December with my birthday points and stuff at, what's the name of the place? At Burke's, so I can't remember, but it ended up being about $15 cheaper because I got so many points off, so many dollars off because it was my birthday, and then I had a $5 off. So I ended up getting a $69 fragrance for about 50 bucks. So, Gucci Guilty. Now, Gucci Guilty Absolute, I'm sorry. Oh man. It just smells good. It just smells good. I mean, it's oudy, but it has something about it that says, I'm serious. I'm not playing with you. I'm not here to play. I'm not here for games. And it doesn't matter whether you're playing tonk or spades with your homies. Are you going to shoot a game of pool? Are you going out on a little date, a little audition? You know what I'm saying? You're taking a little Cinderella out to see if she gonna, turn into a pumpkin at midnight or whatever she did. Because they all turn into werewolves when they get home and get to taking off eyelashes and wigs and girdles, and so they all, morph into something totally different. So if you can manage to keep Cinderella out past midnight, whatever you do, I think this is a good little fragrance for that, because it's just one of those that not everybody's reaching for. And that's where I'm at in my fragrance journey. I don't want to smell like every fragrance journey. What's up, homie, if you're watching? I don't want to smell like everybody else. I want to smell nice. I want to smell good, but I want to smell like the 46-year-old man that I am. And I want to smell like that year round. And I feel like this is one of those fragrances that help you do that. From the House of Gucci, Gucci Guilty Absolute. and I love it. Again, slight oud, masculine, a little bit of spice in there, a little bit of woods. It's almost like it wants to go boozy. Oh man, that smells good. And again, you can't go 15 sprays of this if it's 4 degrees outside. You still have to catch yourself watching your sprays. So even in the summertime, you still got to watch your sprays on most of these fragrances. So what difference does it make what the temperature is? Because you still can't go ham. You can't be up there, and turn back the clock on y'all. You can't be like that. You can't go MC Hammer. You got to kind of go, you know, I would say Will Smith, but he out there slapping people. You got to go kind of heavy deep. You know what I'm saying? You got to be smooth and move light on your feet with fragrances like this. Gucci, Guilty, Absolute. 3 more. One that I absolutely love, from the house of Lalique. And I'm smiling right here because my boy, Mr. Thompson from up there in Chicago is going to have something to say when I say this. I say this every time I talk about a Lalique fragrance because to me, Lalique is a niche house. They don't make clothes, so that makes them non-designer. But anyway, Ancre Noir Luxtreme. And this is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful scent as I try to find a place to spray. I don't think this one, I like that, as I just realized there's a decant right there by my shoe. When you're a frag head, man, you have evidence of fragrances everywhere. Again, it's one that would lean more towards the winter, but I'm challenging myself and I'm challenging you to spray some of these heavier fragrances in the summer. Again, this is just one that just says, hi, I'm serious about everything that I do. There's no play in my Denzel voice. I guarantee it. There's no play in this fragrance. There's no play here. I guarantee it. And that's what you have with this. It's just grown man, sexy. It's serious. It is direct. It's to the point. It's woody. It's earthy. It's a little bit mysterious. I like it. And it's rich and it has a depth to it, and it smells way better than the $30 to $40 fragrance. It has a very niche quality smell to me, to my nose. It has that depth and that richness that you like. Definitely could see me wearing this to a bar, you know, going to maybe have a few adult beverages. You know, in my case would be water with lemon. But still, I go in to shoot a game of pool, you know, just, you know, in a nice, or going to a nightclub, you know, to hear some comedians tell jokes, you know, hee hee ha ha, you know, just a nice little venue where you got to put on some shoes, you know what I mean? And for those of you who don't live in the South, that don't know what shoes are things that you put on your feet that don't tie. Those are shoes. You know, like dress shoes, as we call them down here, but we, you know, put a little extra on it. You know, you gotta go buy some shoes. And when we say that, you know what, if a person says shoes, then we know exactly what they mean. I mean, they fixing to dress up. Normally it comes with a nice little outfit. But anyway, definitely a fragrance that you have to put on some shoes with. Now, you don't have to, because I'm not gonna put on those shoes when I wear it, because my feet are size 15 and I'm old and they're uncomfortable. So I put on whatever's comfortable. But nonetheless, this is a dressy, grown man fragrance, man. Man, I like that. Ancre Noir Luxtreme. Definitely woody, earthy, masculine, but smooth. This next one, man, oh man. For an oud-based fragrance, and it has it right there in the name. Actually, oud, and it is oud exclusive from the house of Mansera. And this one, man, oh man, oh man. It's got a slight, I'm running out of places. Oh man, great atomizer, great looking bottle. This, if you're looking to delve into the world of niche and you're looking for a good quality house with really inexpensive fragrances that are going to give you extremely good quality, this is a great place to start. With fragrances like Oud Exclusive, Lemon Lime, Cedroc Boise, Instant Crush, Red Tobacco, which you can get at a relatively good price if you shop around. This is a great place to start. But we're here to talk about this bad boy right here, Oud Exclusive. Man. Again, very Middle Eastern vibe. Oud is heavy in it, but it almost has a slight citrus note running through it that calms the oud down and makes it extremely pleasant and extremely wearable. And if you know anything about the Middle East, it's hot there most of the year. You know, I was talking to my boss at work who just happens to be from Bangladesh, and he and I were just talking about you know, where he grew up and the temperatures. And then basically he said, it sounds a lot like Alabama because it's just 2 seasons pretty much. You don't really get, except I think it gets colder here in the winter than it does there. But once it gets hot, it's hot, you know. So I said that to say these fragrances were made to be worn in the heat. I know we don't think so, but they are. Or you can, but this one is really, really nice. And again, you get a mixture of that oud and a slight hint of citrus coming up through the bottom of it that just makes it easy to wear. And again, this is a very professional smelling fragrance. It just smells like, I hate to keep saying it, but it just smells like you mean business. It smells like you know what you're doing, you know what you're talking about, and you ain't playing with them. Ain't no more play today. And I absolutely love it. And this fragrance can be had at the most around, I think, $120, $130 online, but you can get it at discounted for around the $100 mark. And that is a great place to start. And look at that beautiful color and that beautiful bottle. Oud Exclusive by Mancera. I got one more, as we say in Alabama, mo. That's a number. For those of you who don't speak Alabamian, the correct pronunciation would be more, but we say mo a lot. And it could be a person, your uncle, whatever, or it could be a count. Give me one more. From the house of Dose and Gabbana, or Dose and Gabbana, it is, or Dolce, as we say in the South. It is, which one is this? This is Royal Night from Dose and Gabbana. And this is another oud, but put this in the air. Another extremely pleasant, easy to wear oud based fragrance. Sums it up. Sums it up. To me, this is the best from the line, with the exception of what is that? Luminous Nights. That smoky rascal right there is really, really beautiful. And if I could get my hands on it, I would have it, but I think it's kind of hard to get in the US. This one is hard to get as well, but it does smell really, really good. And I think I'm gonna put this on skin. If I can find the spot. Man, well, I'm just, you know what, it'd be all right. I'm just gonna spray it. Doesn't take but one spray. And yeah, I didn't mention this with any of these fragrances, but it's not a whole lot of alcohol moving through any of these bad boys. A lot of them are parfum concentrations, which I know this one is. Most of these are parfum concentrations, with the exception of maybe 2. And this one is no exception. It's an EDP as well. Again, oud is the major player in this fragrance, and you can tell it. Oud and rose. So if you don't like oud rose type of scents, you won't like this one. But if you like oud rose, this is definitely one that you're gonna want to get your nose on. And one more time, it is Royal Night by Dolce & Gabbana. Man, that has been 10 fragrances in my collection that I am going to be wearing more this summer. I think oud is a challenging note, no matter what time of the year you wear it, whether it's cold or it's hot, you still can't overspray it. You still have to wear it correctly. You still have to wear the right amount. Just choose wisely where you spray it and how much you spray. That's my thoughts on it. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in and sticking to the end of this video. I greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. With that being said, I'm going to jump off of here, do a thumbnail, edit, get it uploaded so you guys can see it. I hope you all are having a beautiful weekend. Staying safe and taking care of yourself and all of that. You already know. God bless you all, and I love you all. Until next time, guys. Peace.